Here's a question. Somebody writes that, I've read that recycling makes money, and it's certainly good business. I'm aware that in my family, visits to Wisconsin Paper and other recycling is done every week. I would like to see that happen in Beverly. Do you support Beverly doing a recycling collection each week rather than every other week?
Absolutely. One of my goals, the trash hauling and recycling and compost site contract will need to be renegotiated beginning of next year. And one of my goals will be to achieve weekly recycling as part of that new contract. The City of Salem was able to achieve that in their last contract. There are numerous communities in our area that have gone to weekly recycling. Obviously, there's a demand and a desire in the community to do it. I think with a successful negotiation, we can achieve that, and we can save additional money on tipping fees and the like when we have to bring our trash to the incinerator. Also, the compost site on Stanley Street is a big concern, and I think that that bears a lot of close scrutiny in the next round of contract negotiations, and we'll see if the company we're working with now is the right one. My expectation will be to open it up and let them bid competitively and see what comes out is in the best interest of the community. But absolutely, weekly recycling, I can't imagine us not successfully achieving that with the next negotiation.
Thank you, Rick.
If it's proven that we will definitely save money by doing it weekly, I'm definitely for it. But I'd like to set a program up where we have a cap on what we recycle. Let's say we want to, once we recycle up to $500,000, and then we save on the tipping fees, a portion of that money, once we hit that cap, that's going to go to, we'll say, public recreation, and also to help rebuild the carriage house and anything else. So this way here, the children will know, hey, if I start recycling, and same thing with the adults, we're going to get something out of it. So we need to create a program where everyone's going to win.
Thank you. Tim.
I do. I mean, it's a great idea to do weekly recycling, but at what cost? We have to make sure, negotiating with JRM, our present contractor, to make sure it works for the city and our residents. You don't want to be able to do something recycling. It's a great thing to do, but you want to make sure. Other cities and towns have done that, but we have to make sure that the cost is not put onto the homeowner. The other thing about the compost site, it is a major concern. Now, JRM, I think they've done a fairly good job, but they're also a business. They do want to make money. You go down to the compost site, there's nobody checking down there. They could be out-of-town residents coming in and dropping their compost. Why does JRM not bother them? Because JRM makes more money the more people that come in. So, thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
The trash hauling contract has always been bid during my time. And the cost to have weekly recycling is $175,000 to $200,000 a year. This has been raised repeatedly, and we've gotten quotes. The question is, would you rather have 3 less teachers or weekly recycling? It's very simple. Now, if you say weekly recycling would promote more people doing more recycling, and perhaps that's true, we would have to recycle 5 million pounds of additional material to make up the $200,000. So I think it's a question of dollars and cents. And to glibly say that Salem negotiated it, you've got to look at the details. It's a $175,000 to $200,000 item.
Thank you. Mike?
Thank you.
3 seconds.
Yes, Salem did negotiate this the last go-round, and there was a cost involved, but when they opened up and negotiated and took bids, the bids came in so much lower than the prior contract that it was a question of foregoing a little bit of the savings to implement a weekly recycling program that over time allowed them to create more savings by taking more out of the waste stream. And I just have to say, it's 2011. Okay, recycling we've been talking about this for decades. When I was teaching middle school in the late 80s in Ipswich, the kids used to go down and man the monthly recycling drop-off. We used to have to collect up cans and other things for a month at the school to bring them down to the drop-off. So the idea of moving to weekly recycling is something that I'm confident we will be able to afford. It'll be in the best interest of the community in every way.
Thank you. Bill?
The city of Beverly has reduced the tonnage going to the incinerator from the year 2006 to now from almost 19,000 tons to slightly over 13,000 tons. So to make the suggestion that we are not pushing recycling is simply not accurate.
Thank you. Tim?
Again, I think we have done an excellent job in the years I was council president to do a good job with recycling. Can we do a better job? Do we need to, obviously. Should we look at single stream recycling? I think there's a lot of things that other cities and towns do that we can look at, but not every single town in Beverly or Salem, they're all different. You do need to look at the contract. It's not as easy as it seems.
Thank you. Rick?
One of the issues that Elliot Margolis brought up is that individuals are not going to wait that second week. They're going to take all the recyclables and throw them in the regular trash. So that's something, if we can figure out how to make it a way that they can store these items outside in a better way, or, you know, we just have to come up with a better system. Down the street, if you put down some type of dumpster or something that's good looking, we've already talked about those, they can put the stuff right in there right away and get it away from the house. We need a drop-off point for our recyclables, and that's going to save on fuel also.
30 seconds, Tim, if you want to
I think right now, I think we do a pretty good job with that. I mean, I bought one of those big bins for $65, and I put all my paper goods in there, and I put my cans in another barrel. I have a family of 6 with 4 kids. There's a lot of trash. I have a barrel or trash bag and a half a week, and I used to have 2 or 3. So it can be done. You just need to make it a little easier for people.
Thank you. 30 seconds, Rick.
I use the clear plastic bags. They're good size. You can put everything in there. If the wind comes by, they're still in the bag. That's one technique you can use. But again, we should look at a drop-off point. If we can have a drop-off point, that may help individuals out in the long run. If they're going to go away for a few weeks and they can't be there for the second week, this may help them.
Thank you. On a related subject, the trash fee. Do you see it going away ever? Do you see it going higher? Do you see the city devising a different way of earning income from trash collection? And I guess we'll start with you, Rick.
Well, the way I wanted to do it in the past was for free. You can have one 36-pound barrel is what you can put out every week. That will be free. So someone that has over that, they're going to have to pay. We'll say we'll come up. We'll say $1. We won't say like Mr. Crean years ago mentioned $2.75 or something like that, or $3.75. We'll say $1 for every barrel. After that is what they'll do. That will encourage recycling also. There may be exceptions for more barrels, but that's something that will have to be looked at. But for right now, we'll work with 1 barrel is all you'll get. We'll come up with a system of a house number, some type of system that you'll know that that's your 1 barrel for that house. But I think that the individuals that recycle and that they have that 1 barrel, they should be rewarded without having a trash fee.
Thank you. Tim.
Like I talked about a few minutes ago, single stream recycling can promote that. And if you did something like single stream recycling, you could charge for, if you had a bag or more than 1 bag, you could charge for that almost like as like a pay-as-you-throw. I don't see the cost going down in the near future. It's $25 a quarter. I know some people like to take that off their taxes and not have it on their water and sewer bill. You go up to other towns like Rockport, and it's a lot more than $100 a year to take out your trash. So, you know, is it a fair system right now? No, it is. But right now, I think it's the best we have, and so we start looking at things like single stream recycling.
Thank you. Bill.
Well, it provides the city with a little more than $1 million a year. And if we were to stop having it, we would have to find a way to cut our expenses by more than $1 million a year. Since it was instituted some years ago, it has never been increased, and I don't see it getting an increase in the very near future, but there may be someday when it goes up slightly. It's a charge of about $2 a week for the right to have the trash truck go by your house, even if you're in Florida. I don't know where we'd take $1 million sensibly out of the city at this time. In fact, I'd like to be spending more money on certain things, certainly the streets and the sidewalks. And we have some legislation recently passed that should allow us to do that. So I would be against revoking the trash fee. I don't get a lot of complaints about it, by the way.
Yeah. Mike.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people don't like it. I mean, I've had to vote in favor of it 2 years in a row because, as has been said, it would be $1 million hole in the city budget. It was instituted. It has come to be relied upon as a part of the base of our budget. We do have a city of 40,000 people, and there are at least that many great ideas. And you know, if the ideas are brought forward that can allow us to do something different and not lose that money out of the base of our budget each year, I think we can look at that. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. Rick, 30
Yes,
seconds.
we're worrying a lot about the money with the $1 million. I think we need to look at some of the salaries within the cities, the higher up salaries, which are catastrophic. In 2002, fire chief retired, he gets $80,000 a year, plus we'll add the extra $360 until this year he gets a $240 raise. Add that, $80,000. 8 years later, a second fire chief retired with over $100,000 a year approximately. And right now, the present fire chief is making $120,000, and he has a chance, from what I read, in approximately 6 years, he can retire. Then we're going to have a fourth fire chief. Well, the salaries, that's one way we could save the $1 million.
Thank you.
You're welcome.